Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the B4x IntelliSense library browser. If you spent any time coding in B4a, B4j, or B4i, you already know there's this incredibly rich ecosystem of third-party libraries out there. But let's be real, actually finding and integrating them, it's always been a bit of a chore. Well, today we're looking at a specific VS Code extension feature that literally flips the script on that entire experience. Here's what we're looking at today. We'll start with the fragmented ecosystem, move on to the three-tier architecture, explore the dual interface, talk about security and performance, and finally, wrap up with the future of discovery. Let's get right into it. First up, the fragmented ecosystem, or as I like to call it, taming the B4x form chaos. So check this out. Instead of rummaging through those text-heavy, scattered form threads, the ones where you have to dig through endless replies just to find a working download link, you get this beautifully clean, structured, and filterable catalog. The library browser extension centralizes everything into a unified web view right inside VS Code. It takes what used to be a frustrating scavenger hunt and turns it into a totally seamless marketplace experience. And the sheer scale here is honestly what makes it so impressive. We are not just talking about indexing a handful of popular tools. No. This browser manages a massive ecosystem of over 1,000 community-contributed libraries, bringing them directly into your editor. That's over 1,000 distinct pieces of functionality that you can instantly discover, search, and integrate. And you never even have to open an external web browser. Moving on to part 2, let's peek under the hood at the three-tier architecture, the real engine powering all this discovery. To make this magic work so smoothly, the extension uses a classic three-tier architecture. So you've got a data layer handling the metadata, a presentation layer rendering the UI components like the sidebar tree, and a super robust storage layer backed by a local SQLite database. Why does this matter? Well, this separation is absolutely crucial because it allows for offline operation and lightning-fast incremental updates. And this architecture relies on a really clean data processing pipeline. It takes raw, untrusted, remote JSON and transforms it into richly structured metadata in 3 logical steps. First, it grabs the remote JSON mapping. Second, if a library doesn't explicitly state its platform, the system is actually smart enough to infer it by running regular expressions against the URL. And third, it parses embedded code snippets to extract the author's name and tags. It's a highly intelligent, automated extraction process. But here's the real kicker: this robust fallback strategy. It ensures your library catalog stays available even if your internet drops or the primary GitHub repository goes down. The extension always tries to fetch fresh data first, but if that fails, it instantly falls back to a cached version stored in VS Code's global state. And if somehow that's empty too, it just uses a hard-coded local copy bundled right inside the extension itself. Basically, you are literally never left without access to your tools. All right, part 3. The dual interface. Let's look at the sidebar tree and web view panel. Before you even commit to downloading a library, the extension securely fetches and renders the README Markdown right in your editor. It handles the HTTPS requests, buffers the response, and then opens a native VS Code Markdown preview. This gives you all the context you need to evaluate the usage syntax right then and there without ever breaking your flow. And when you click on any library in the grid, it pulls up this detailed modal card. This is where the magic happens. It gives you one-click access to the original forum discussions, direct downloads, and even a button to copy the setup snippet straight to your clipboard. It centralizes every single action a developer needs when adopting a new piece of code. It's a real game changer for productivity. Because all of this filtering and searching happens entirely on the client-side browser within the web view, the interface is incredibly fast. It responds to your inputs instantly, with no clunky communication overhead with the extension host whatsoever. Whether you're typing a search query, toggling between B4j desktop libraries and B4a Android libraries, or sorting by author, the responsiveness is immediate. Plus, it leverages Tailwind CSS and Daisy UI, so the whole shebang looks perfectly integrated with your VS Code theme. Let's transition to Section 4, Security and Performance, keeping things fast, safe, and reliable. Now, bringing community code directly into your editor requires some pretty strict safeguards. Just look at these security boundaries. They use strict content security policies to make sure chaotic or potentially malicious forum data can't hijack your VS Code environment. Because the data is fundamentally untrusted, inline scripts are totally locked without a cryptographic nonce. HTML entities are escaped to prevent injection attacks, and dangerous URL schemes completely neutralized. On the performance side of things, we have Write-Ahead Logging, or WAL mode. Now, this isn't just some fancy database buzzword. It's the reason your UI absolutely won't freeze while the extension updates its massive library index in the background. Because readers don't block writers and writers don't block readers in this mode, you can be actively searching the catalog at the exact same time the 60-minute automatic background sync is pulling down new libraries. They didn't stop there either. The developers also implemented ETag-based conditional caching. This saves bandwidth by returning an HTTP 304 if the catalog hasn't actually changed. Plus, there's a strict 15-second timeout, which hilariously saves you from just staring at a spinning wheel forever if your network completely drops. They've even wrapped the inter-process communication in a safe wrapper, so things won't crash if you accidentally close the panel while it's still loading. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, the future of discovery. Let's look at the roadmap and next steps. The upcoming enhancements are focused heavily on improving developer experience even further. We're talking about incredible capabilities like true one-click direct installations and automatic resolution for dependent libraries. They're also planning to add DOM Purify to close a minor security gap in Markdown sanitation. And on the UX front, expect things like debounced searching and keyboard navigation, so you power users out there can fly through the entire catalog without ever touching your mouse. Which leaves us with this final, really exciting thought. Now that the massive hurdle of hunting down code, verifying dependencies, and wrestling with forum attachments is completely solved by this elegant extension, what are you going to build next? The friction of discovery is just gone, leaving you with nothing but a blank canvas and over 1,000 tools right at your fingertips. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep building, and I will catch you in the next one.